are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Welcome back to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again. Today, we have a special guest. When you think about breaking ceilings is one thing. How about leading above them? We have a special guest, Eileen Collins, in the new documentary, Spacewoman. I know you personally. I met you before. I want to say good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Oh, hi, Shamaya. I'm doing great. It's great to talk with San Antonio. I live in the area, so it's real special for me.
Well, I appreciate your time this morning. This documentary was special. I had the privilege to watch it. You said something in there that struck me. You said, until we're tested, we don't know what we are capable of. When you reflect on your life and all the success you had, your family is important to you, but so was your mission. How were you able to stay calm during high pressure moments?
Oh, without a doubt, it was my training. I would not consider myself a normally calm person. I think I was kind of a crazy teenager. When I think back, I got to hand it to my mother for raising me through a difficult period of life. But I joined the military when I was 21 years old. I went on active duty. I actually came to San Antonio to go through my first flight training. And through all my 12 years of flying airplanes in the Air Force, I learned to be very procedural and to not let emotions run my life. And when faced with a mission or when faced with maybe an emergency or a malfunction, there's a checklist that you can follow. And, step one is always maintain aircraft control. And then you analyze the situation, you take proper action, and you land as soon as conditions permit. And those steps apply to everything I do in my life now. The number one, you see chaos all around you, you maintain control of yourself. You analyze the situation and you take proper action. So I think I've become very procedural due to my time in the military. And I have learned that the more you know about your airplane, or in my case, the space shuttle, the more you know about it, the more confidence you have. So it's taking time out to learn and to study. And other people, as commander, people rely on me. And it's my job to keep everyone, calm and focused on the mission, and keep everyone, well trained and prepared. So I think that's how I would answer the question. I credit the military for taking me as a crazy teenager and helping develop me into, a person who I never really thought that I would be a leader in that respect someday. But it happened. And by the way, let me add one other thing. Reading history, I think, is very important. Whatever kind of history you're interested in, read about people that have overcame challenges in their life and have gone on to do really, different, interesting, maybe even great things, and the hardships that they overcame. And so I think the movie Spacewoman brings out that part of the story in my life, because I came from a very, I'm going to say, family that was on government assistance. That does come out in the film. We lived in government housing. My dad was a big drinker. My parents split up when I was 9 years old. And so it wasn't, like I said, I was a rough teenager. But I was able to overcome that and, I think go on to do what was my dream in life.
You think about the human side of greatness. What's something that people, public eye, they don't realize or don't see about the sacrifices that you and your family had to make during your career? Because when you think and reflect on the commanding the return to flight mission, it was very high stakes. How were we able to just keep the glue together for you and your family?
I think it begins. So we had this terrible accident. We lost the Space Shuttle Columbia on entry. It was coming home. The shuttle broke up. We lost 7 of our friends, and that was such a tragedy. It's hard for me to talk about it or even go back, and I'd never want to live that period of my life again. My crew was the next mission up. 5 weeks after that accident, we were scheduled to launch, which of course we did not launch because we had to do the accident investigation, figure out what happened, and then go into what we called the return to flight period, which was getting the space shuttle flying again. I felt a responsibility to my friends who lost their lives that we keep that mission going for them. There were some people that wanted to cancel the shuttle program. We killed, not 1, but 2 crews because we also had Challenger accident from 1986. But, if we had canceled the program, is that like saying what they died for wasn't worth it? No, we had to keep that mission going. So that kind of became my mission, and I found myself thrown into a leadership position that I did not choose, but people relied on me, and I didn't want to let them down. So I think that's what kept me going. And to answer your question, was really caring about the other people in the program, caring about their families, and not just the astronauts, but our flight directors. I mean, they were having a tough time coming out of this accident, our shuttle program management. The people, the technicians, the engineers, people throughout the program. And, they actually looked up to me. And, I took on that challenge by doing what my dad always told me to do. Put yourself in the other person's position and try to see things from their point of view. And I think that's what helped me be a better leader in that time period. Just to mention, that does come out in Spacewoman. I got to tell you, we showed it in my hometown a couple weeks ago, and a man came up to me after it was over and said, "I cried through the whole thing." And what? You cried through the whole thing? He's like, I asked him why, and he's just like, I guess he could relate to parts of the film. But it's not just about space and the missions that we flew, but it's about being a human, doing risky things in life, and is it worth taking the risk? And there's no answer to that. And I guess each person can deal with that question when they see the film. What are the risks in life that are worth taking? And, when should we say no? When do we say yes?
Once again, talking to the one and only Eileen Collins, all about the new documentary, Spacewoman. It was a powerful presentation. I want to say once again to you, thank you for your time. And last thing I want you to do for our audience, for those who go watch this amazing project, what's one line do you want to give as encouragement to the next generation?
Well, I'm going to say two things. My first line of encouragement is reach for the stars, whatever your stars might be. And the second thing is, Spacewoman is showing on April 4th, Saturday night in San Antonio. And it'll be on the Bitters in Theater, Bitters in 281 Theater. So hope to see you there. I don't know, it might be sold out, but but it's only showing once in San Antonio. Maybe we can get it there more than once.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And like always, want to say thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.